Today, we're diving into a really powerful and frankly devastating short story by Munshi Premchand called The Price of Honor. It's an unforgettable tale about love, betrayal, and the absolutely shocking choices people make when their entire world is shattered. Let's get right into it. So, right from the get-go, we're hit with these words from our narrator, Zubaida. And, this tells you everything you need to know. This isn't just some story she's recounting from a distance. It's something she survived. The fact that she herself is amazed she's still alive, wow. It just casts this incredibly tragic shadow over everything we're about to hear. But it didn't start in darkness. Not at all. Before everything went wrong, her life was, well, it was basically a paradise. This first chapter of her life with her husband, Seed, was this perfect, idyllic dream, an absolute ocean of love and devotion.
I mean, just listen to that. It's so poetic, so beautiful. Their world was built on this kind of all-consuming adoration. They weren't just a married couple, They were like two halves of the same soul, living a life that felt as perfect and contained as a fairy tale.
And their life? It was flawless. They had a massive estate, no money worries, nothing to stress about. It was just an endless spring, as she puts it. Saeed's love for her was so immense that he even offered to put his entire fortune in her name, saying he only wanted to be the beggar at her door. Can you even imagine that level of devotion? But you knew it couldn't last, right? Zubaida tells us this entire perfect world just shattered. And it happened fast. In less than a year, that endless spring turned into a cold, brutal winter, and the first cracks started to show in their paradise. And the speed of this change is just staggering. Seriously, look at this contrast. One minute he's saying, "You are my life, your love is the greatest blessing." And the next, he's asking if a devil has taken possession of her. I mean, what? The whiplash is just incredible. It's not a slow decline, it's a violent, absolute switch. For Zubaida, this is a double blow. It's not just that his love is gone, that the lamp of love was extinguished, and he's now cold and distant. It's that her respect for him, her belief in his honor as a man, has completely died right along with it. And that is a whole other kind of heartbreak. And this is where things take a truly dark, horrific turn. That loss of honor, it leads directly to the story's absolute worst moment. An evening in their beautiful garden is about to become a scene of just unimaginable cruelty. So here's what happens. Saeed actually brings his mistress, Zarina, into their home. And when she insults Zubaida, Zubaida finally breaks her silence. But get this, she doesn't confront him about the cheating. She confronts him about his lack of honor. She hits him right where it hurts his pride. And his response, well, it's monstrous. And this assault isn't some spontaneous burst of anger. It's cold, it's calculated. A servant grabs her, the mistress ties her to a pillar, and then the mistress begins to beat her with a cane. All while Saeed, her husband, just stands there and watches. She has no way out. She's completely and utterly helpless. And can you just imagine this? Through all the pain, she's pleading with him, with Saeed, the one person on earth who is supposed to be her protector. She's begging him, reminding him of the love they shared, trying to appeal to the man he used to be. But it's no use. That man is long gone. This line just says it all. The beating is so brutal, so relentless that the actual cane breaks. The piece of wood gives out before the human heart shows an ounce of mercy. The weapon shatters, but Saeed's heart, it just remains stone. So what happens next? After something so horrific, you'd expect rage, right? Maybe a thirst for revenge. But that's not what happens with Zubaida. Instead, her mind gets fixated on one single thing, the unbearable stain of her humiliation. And her logic here is just, it's twisted, and it's born from incredible pain. Think about it. How do you hide one ugly stain on a white cloth? Well, her answer is to just dunk the whole thing in black ink. She concludes that the only way to conceal this specific, unbearable humiliation is to become humiliation itself. And this is so important. This isn't a passive slide into despair. It's an active choice, a firm resolution, as she says. She decides to seize control of her own destruction. She's going to become a courtesan,
to willingly enter the market of beauty.
And get this, it happens almost immediately. Just 3 days after being tortured in her own garden, she's there, sitting on a high balcony in a brothel, looking down on the world that cast her out. She's now fully inhabiting the dishonor she chose for herself.
And it's from that exact balcony that the final act of this tragedy plays out. This is where she sees him again, the man who destroyed her. So, Saeed, proud and arrogant, walks by. He looks up and he sees her. He sees his wife, the woman who carried his honor, displayed for all the world to see in a place of public shame. And that sight, it hits him like a fatal poison. Her public disgrace becomes his private doom.
The very next morning, Mirza Saeed was dead. Just like that. The humiliation was more than his pride could bear. He took his own life.
But wait, that's not the whole story. Before killing himself, Saeed first went to his mistress Zarina's house, and he murdered her. His final act was one of violent, misplaced retribution, completing the cycle of destruction he began.
So now, Zubaida returns to the house, now empty, a ghost in the ruins of her former life. And it's here, in that emptiness, that she's left with one final, absolutely heartbreaking realization.
It's such a devastating paradox. She believes that the memory of the betrayal, the cruelty, even her own humiliation, that all might fade one day. But the memory of that brief, perfect love they once shared, that will remain forever. And hauntingly, that is all she has left to live for.
And that's the question Premchand really leaves us with, isn't it? Is it the pain of the betrayal, or is it the ghost of that initial bliss? What is the real price of honor, and what is left when it's all been paid in blood?
Wow, what a story. If this one resonated with you, do us a favor and hit that like button, share it with someone, and definitely subscribe for more deep dives into powerful literature like this. Oh, and ring that little bell so you don't miss our next analysis. Thanks for tuning in.